Okay, so remember I did promise you that I was gonna do a part two to my part one about surviving college. Now, like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. And with the grace of God, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. No, yes, here I am. I got into college and I decided that I'm going to live on campus and so on. So, me care the little things that I have from a house, and I'm there. And I remember I had bought a computer at Singer sometime before college. I had saved and I had my little partner. I get the draw and I buy a computer because at that time I didn't have a job at one point and I wasn't the person to sit down. So I realized that the bus drivers and so on and persons in the community, because we didn't have um, good reception from the TV channels, we would buy CDs in Mapen and watch them. And I used to buy a lot because I loved African movies at the time. And I realized every minute somebody come in to borrow them. So I say, you know what, I can make some money. So yeah, it wasn't legal, but I'm not doing it anymore. Well, I didn't even know at the time that it was legal either. But I used to burn the CDs and sell them, and make music CDs and sell them. So that was the purpose of my computer. And so I took it to college with me. No, I got a roommate, and I don't know if she was sent to test me or if she was sent to make me stronger. I would probably say make me stronger, but she did test me along the way. She was not the easiest of person to live with. And I remember for some reason I went into a store and I saw a plastic covering for computers and I bought it, and luckily I did. I left college for one weekend because I used to go home every weekend. I couldn't stay in that place. And I had my son and my family to go home to. So I remember leaving my computer. It was a desktop at college. When I got back to my room one day, it was messed up like something through on it. And my roommate looked at me and told me, say she said me dash deep on it, just like that. And I was miserable. There were times when in the middle of the night she would just get up and turn up her radio blast, and I'd frighten out of my sleep and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go back to sleep. Or she would start playing it early and she would not stop playing it throughout the night, because she was nocturnal. She sleep in the day when I am at class, and in the night she would stay up all night and study. Unlike me, it's different for me. I have to get my night's rest. And so it was, I had the worst time with her. I would leave my food in my cupboard, and when I come back the food is all gone, right? And you know I lived with it for, I think it was a year or half a year, I don't remember quite well. But then something happened and we had to move from our dorm to another one that was bigger to hold all of us. And so that was a male dorm. Most of the rooms were not utilized because we didn't have as much male. And so we went there, and God gave me two roommates. Awesome. Awesome. When I say awesome, believe me, they were the best. To this day, they are still my good friends. I mean, good, 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 good friends. And so with those two roommates, I started experiencing life a bit better at college. Now, Mark, I wasn't the brightest of persons, so this girl don't go anywhere. I stayed. When I get my assignments to do, I start them early. When I start getting notes, I started reading my notes and studying, because I know I'm not the last minute person, and I know that I learned differently. So, I try to keep on the ball, and I try to surround myself with persons who were like that, persons who were willing to study and do their work on time and so on. So I wasn't the one who would go on the street. I don't go out unless I have to shop or there's something on the road for me to do. So, I started having life a little better with my two roommates. And, I fell into difficult times. And there were times when I couldn't even buy snacks to put in my cupboard at school. And so, because I had my son still taken care of as well, and I live in a rented house, I have to pay rent back home. And my two roommates, oh Lord, they open up their stuff to me. They say you can use anything, you can take anything. Janice and Elaine, I'll never forget you guys. Could never forget you guys. There are times when they would go out, right? Especially Janice, because Janice, she got to know me like that. And we became sisters more than just friends. And you know, Janice always coming in with our burger and our KFC and our this and our that. And I didn't have those things. I just had to satisfy with what I had. And so when I know that she's coming, cause you know sometimes when you're hungry, you know, and KFC sent lick you, it's a different kind of hungry, you know. So what I used to do, I used to try to go over to my friend's dorm in another section of the college when I know she's coming in with her food and wait until me know she finish it to come back. Or if I have to stay in the room if it's too late, I as soon as me hear the door a pull, I cover up my head under the sheet and pretend that I am sleeping. And when the center box me over, and then I remember Janice used to come and say, all right, they used to call me Bailey and Nadz. Well, no, she called me Nadz. My other friends used to call me Bailey by my maiden name. So she would come and say, Nadz, me know you're not sleeping. Now get up and come eat some, man. And no matter how I pretend I was sleeping, trust me, she would wake me or she would leave it on my table so I know it's mine. And you know, friends like those really, they really deserve a special place in my heart. Elaine was the same thing too. And so I had friends who, when they cook, we're not supposed to cook, but we still find way and cook. And when they cook, they'll give us, they'll make sure that I get something to eat. And then here, what a girl here to know. This girl went over to the canteen, you see, and became friends. I was an easy person to talk to, so I make friends easily. So I became friends with one of the chefs. I became friends with a lot of the groundsmen. So anything I want to get done was easy go for me. And so I used to say to the chef, and this is a life hack. My son would call it a life hack. I used to say to the chef, listen, you see lunchtime, give me half of my lunch and leave the next half for later. I did for me. It wasn't the best thing to do, but he did. And so when everybody gone in, we used to go around at the back and collect my little plate and carry it in. And I remember buying a toaster oven. I couldn't afford a microwave, so I bought a toaster oven. And that's what I used to warm up the food in and eat it. Sometimes I just eat it cold because you really don't have the time, you understand, to do these things. And you know, there's a very specific time in my college life that I remember that I laugh at it now, but it's it's inspiring, and it can inspire you too, just to teach you that whatever you have is a lot and you can be satisfied with what you have. I remember I went home for the weekend and all the money I had to leave it for my son. And so when I got back, I left dinner. Normally I would carry up dinner with me. And I don't remember if it is that I couldn't wait for the dinner or something, but I didn't take any dinner with me. And when I got back the Sunday afternoon, I was hungry. When I say hungry, I was hungry. And Sundays no cooking going on campus, so I couldn't look to any one of the chef or anybody to get any food. And when I went into my cupboard, you know, all I saw was a piece of bread. And I said, you know what? I go eat this piece of bread, you know. And Savior Divine, when I took the bread from the cupboard, the bread had that green stuff on it, you know, the bread stale, the bread has spoiled. And I'm not the person to walk and beg and walk and say, beg you some of this, or can you offer me some of your dinner? Because on Sundays, mostly persons who don't carry back dinner from home, they cook early or they get dinner from somebody. So I'm not the kind to walk and ask anybody for food. And so I took the bread. I don't even remember if I prayed, I don't want to lie, but I know I took the bread and I took the knife and I cut off the green part of it. And I ate the bread and drink some water. And that was one of the best meal I had. You might be wondering why she's saying that, but it was one of the best meal because what? It I was not hungry after that, and I was able to function and do my work. You know, when you look at these things, so you have to laugh. But you know, college, when you don't born with that gold spoon, as they say, and you don't have, you know, most persons to help you out when you're going there, it can be a lot because we had to spend a lot of money to get materials that we need. We had to spend a lot of money to do a lot of stuff. So whatever money you have to save it, and you have to try to make sure that your money can keep you for the time you're there and save bus fare to go home on weekends. So whatever you had, you had to make use of it. And so I don't regret doing that. You know, I don't regret any at all. And I had to eat that bread, because today I look at it and it makes me appreciate whatever it is that I have now. It makes me appreciate that, and I use it, and I tell my children and I tell people all the time, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not saying that you should go to college and eat stale bread like me, but what I'm saying is that little is much when God is in it. So that's my inspiration for today. I'm still not done with college. I will give you your part 3 and possibly part 4 up to when I'm working, started working. So the Chronicles of Welcome to the Chronicles of Nadz. It's my life story. It's my truth, my story. So I hope I'm not offending anybody. It shouldn't be, because it's really my story, and I'm putting it out there because I want to inspire somebody. So have a great day, you all.